I'm telling you, man, not to sound like a fucking ass, but this is tough because,
it's fine. It's good.
No, it's tough because Greg. Well, I didn't know this happened. I mean, we don't talk like that. But Greg was the guy. He was straight laced, man. He was just straight fucking on Tough Crowd. Greg was the guy that kept it right amongst a bunch of other maniacs.
But that really, see, again, even that's the part of it. Like that during Tough Crowd, I was wildly out of control.
I didn't know it. No one knew, man.
And Colin did. Colin fucking talked to me a bunch of times.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know.
But I didn't know you were out of control. But I never really let it go. You know, I was always able to, keep shit under control. But then I would have these moments when I would go, fuck. Like when I was off, put it this way, I'm not saying this to fucking, but you're
not talking with junkie pride.
Nobody's like, I'm scared the shit out of hardcore, crazy, like I've done shit and continue to do, have continued and woken up and started again, where people are like, what the fuck? Like people who don't even have jobs, who are like fucking committed to like take this till I'm dead. Like these guys just go, this is their life. Their job is to be a drug addict. And, so, but I would do it in episodes, and then like somehow fucking be miserable, pull it together and always be able to kind of keep shit together. But it's now it's like.
How horrible is it, Greg, being wired on a plane?
Oh my God, it's a fucking nightmare.
It's awful, right?
I once I was flying to do this fucking college gig once, and I'd been up and I was totally the paranoia that kicks in, and I thought everybody around me were agents that were out to get me, and it sounds crazier to people. It's temporary insanity, and then it passes. It's temporary whatever you call it, psychotic schizophrenia, whatever. You start hearing people, and I thought, and this one guy starts speaking to somebody in like an Australian accent. I'm like, fuck, it's international. Like it's an international operation to find me, and I went and sat down next to the guy. And could you imagine when I landed, the cops were there. They said, you're acting very erratic on the plane.
Oh wow, really?
By then I'd eaten all these sedative type of things, so they actually let me go.
What did you say? Like, I've been up for a few days. I had some family trouble.
And they said, "Are you on any substances?" And I said, "Well, I took some Xanax, because that's old state. Do you have a prescription for Xanax?" And I said, "No, actually, I don't. But it helps me. A friend of mine gave it to me. Knew I was scared of flying. And they go, we could arrest you right now for your behavior and for being on a substance it's not you don't have a prescription for." And I said, "Well, I don't know. I hope you don't."
I hope you don't. Exactly.
I would have challenged him. You should have poked him in the chest.
Yeah.
Go ahead, pig.
Go ahead. Blood test me, motherfucker.
Take me in.
Yeah, but that,
what'd you do? You sat next to the Australian?
Oh, fuck. I sat next to him and talked to him. And I could you imagine what this fucker, and then there was this, like, Indian woman sleeping behind me, and I kept looking between the seats. I'm like, and I was writing, taking notes about all this. And I have these notes. I can read this shit. It's like the rantings of a madman.
That's a fucking one-man show.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I go, they're so clever to put the woman pretending to sleep behind me. She's pretending to sleep, but she's listening the whole time, and I stick my head there.
He's like John Doe from Seven. Right. This Greg is fucking.
Oh man, and if if you
shaving off his fingertips,
beautiful mind.
If you don't sleep for a couple days,
beautiful mind guy.
If you don't sleep for a couple of days, even if you don't do any drugs, like you go fucking nuts. Like I've been with people, these like girls that try to help you. And so like they're so sleep deprived at the end either, too, but they haven't even done any drugs or anything, and they're just like fucking frazzled and crying, like Jesus. Where did it all go wrong?
Don't you love all the fucking codependents that fucking rush in?
That's great. Yeah, it's a lot easier to meet girls when you've been up for 4 days and you can't even talk, but then you try to be never mind.
Well, you always know the ones that were attracted to you at that time are fucking. There's problems there. There's problems.
Yeah.
No help.
God bless him.
I think it does sound like Jay made a point about the chicks being like a fucking trigger.
Well, that's all a big part of it too. Probably, suppressing my homosexuality like this for so many years.
Well, that'll do it too. One dick though, and you're
one and that's fine. It. Yeah, no, that's all part of it too. You do everything to kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's all wrapped up. The whole chick thing is very wrapped. Somehow you always end up in that
really creepy sex and shit. Choking and
well, the thing is, some of that, but what happens is you get so fucked up that part of it's like it depends. Some people get more I swear to God this is true. I started doing blow as a way to not cheat. Like when when we're gonna have kids, because for some people it's crazy sexual shit, but I would get fucked up just drinking and then go nuts. But if I did a tiny little bit of coke, any bit of coke, then any bit of coke, and I would just sit there and just talk about how misunderstood I've been as an artist for fucking 12 hours with some stranger, rather than just fuck around and go crazy. I would just and also it makes me so paranoid. I can't be social. I can't be out. So if I'm doing blow, like I'm home alone or whatever with like.
We smoking it?
I want to go into the specifics of the methods of administration.
What is it about sobriety? And this is for anybody. What is it about sobriety that sucks? That I don't want to do this.
I'll tell you. That's why I never drank. I drank once, 2 times once I've been drunk in Australia, by the way. Drank and was drunk. What it does is it gives you unbelievable inhibition. Like you do, and it's charming. Like I stuck my tongue on the side of a girl's mouth that I didn't know, and she just started sucking my tongue. But the way I did it drunk must have made her go, fuck it, I'm gonna do it too.
But that's exactly the reason she quit drinking. I can't believe I let this animal stick his tongue in my mouth.
That's her bottom story. That's his like fond memory of drinking. It's her rock bottom.
But also getting on stage and being drunk you're funnier. Like at the time when I drank, I said, fuck me. I'm saying some funny shit. Yep. And I just thought it makes you a better comic. And I thought of Richard Pryor, and I was like, I don't want to fucking be high and funny. I'll be just whatever.
Well, it doesn't work for long. That's the thing. It's like it works. Like I say, it works till it doesn't. You know, when I first tried to stop a while ago, I thought it was hard because I thought I'm not going to be funny anymore. Like because I'm fucking nervous. You know, like I'm not comfortable in my skin in real life. I'm not that crazy. And on stage I could get a little buzz and I'd be the guy I wanted to be my whole life. You know, now I'm loose and funny and cool and comfortable and relaxed and not self-conscious. And it was great for years. I would always drink on stage, always for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. So stopping was like, fuck, I can't do this. How am I going to pull this off?
I'm not going to be funny.
I'm not going to be funny. I can't be. But that was a bunch of years ago. Since then, I can't drink. Since that point, I got used to the idea that I can't, you might be funnier at first. Like, if you don't drink for a while and then you drink a little, that first show, it's like, holy shit, this does work. I am back to the, and then by the fucking third show.
There's a quick drop off. With drinking, I've noticed with anything, when you're drinking, there is you could graph it. Yeah. You get better at whatever you're doing. You really do. Like, I was on a fucking dart league in a bar. When I was, back fucking in construction. And I'd get to the bar, I'd start drinking a few beers. I'm laying those fucking darts in that dartboard exactly where I want them. And then you have like one sip more, and wham, the graph just drops off, and now you suck completely at everything you're doing.
Yeah, so the goal is to like stay at that point.
But you can't. You can't stay at that point because you got to keep drinking. If you stop drinking, then you're going to start sobering up and feel like shit because you're hungover.
Yeah.
And then if you keep drinking, you're going to fall off that cliff of the graph of goodness.
Yeah.
And not be good at what you're doing. When I'll tell you something. When we went from afternoons to doing mornings, I was really fucking worried because I would drink during the fucking show, afternoon drive. I'd fucking get to the show around noon, 1 o'clock. We'd be hanging out. Yep. I'd start drinking. The show didn't start till 3. So I'd be drinking a good couple of hours before the show started. Show would start. I'd have my computer monitor. Bottle of beer would be behind there. And during the show, I'd just be like, hey, could you grab me a beer? I would polish off probably 6 to 8 beers through the show.
Easy.
Through the show.
Easy.
And then when we went to mornings, I was like, I can't do radio. I've never done radio without drinking.
Yeah.
I'm always drinking and doing radio.
I was going to say, the amount of beer they were hauling into our office was amazing.
Oh, fuck.
We had 3.
Amazing,
We really did have 3 refrigerators. One was for food and the other 2 were for beer. Turned out all 3 were for beer in the end. And then the Jägermeister machine to really
Jägermeister, frozen Jäger machine came in. We're doing Jäger shots during the fucking show.
And then we decided Fridays we need shot girls.
Yeah.
And
you was drinking too?
No, not really.
Opie was actually
very, very rarely
keeping it together.
Very rarely.
Just keeping the fucking thing together. It was me, I believe, a couple of producers, other people just pounding.
But then management finally said, look, we hired basically a bartender to come in on Fridays and shot girls.
Nice.
And that lasted about 2 or 3 weeks, and they finally said, enough. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
You opening up a nightclub here?
Yeah, I know. What the fuck is this? But it did worry me that I wasn't going to be able to do, radio.
Yeah.
That I was going to, suck or something.
It's the illusion. It's like it does tell you that you're no good without it. You're not going to be creative. You're not going to be funny. And all it does is block creativity. All it does is block being funny. In the end, it wrecks everything.
I remember, at first I thought, well, this is cool because I like these stories. This makes it like it'll be. And then I can't tell the stories because it was like, well, people are going to hate you. You have kids and you're doing this shit, and it's not going to help you in any way. And then not only that, I'd be on the road and meet these fuckers that I didn't even remember meeting. Oh, they go, man, remember that time we did this? And I thought, that would have been a good story if I'd remembered the first thing about it. It's like it blocks everything. It's a nightmare. It's the worst thing you can do. But it's what you got to. If you have this thing, it's going to play itself out the way it plays itself out. And I hope that I had enough at this point. But it's had enough for today, right?
We all have that fantasy of like going out in a blazer, or just of being the intriguing, crazy guy. Like, oh my God, you should have seen so and so. But surviving it. But the reality is, my luck is not that. Like, my luck is horrendous. I'm very dysfunctional when I drink. Very dysfunctional. No, so I know I would drive, and I would just come home, and there'd be some kind of a limb sticking out of my grill. Like, that's what would happen. I'd wind up in jail.
Did you know Hedberg, Jim?
Yes.
Well, what was his
I think he was doing heroin.
Personality? No, but what was his personality?
I didn't know him well enough off. He was always mellow when I saw him. He was always like, hey.
I was wondering if anybody knew him. Like, was he, like, did he have a, problem?
I fucking met him the night before he died. He was doing the Carolines gig. We went and saw him. One of his last, it was either the night or 2 nights before he died. Met him backstage, exchanged numbers. He was going to be part of the show.
How was his personality like in terms of?
He was amazing on stage, and it was very obvious he was very fucked up. He was all touchy-feely backstage, really cool. Knew the show, couldn't wait to do the show, and we exchanged numbers. And either the next day or 2 days later, we got the news.
And I think maybe the pressure of a guy like that, too, because he ended up being almost a king of a certain genre of comedy that he had to keep up. The pressure of that.
He created, you said, if you create a character where you have to be fucked up, because I have a character kind of that I do when I was, too fucked up, because like my hands would be shaking and I'd be my hands would be shaking, so I just grasp the mic like this and put the mic, and then you create like a guy on stage that could be fucked up and looks okay. I'd walk a lot slower. My guy, wouldn't look at the audience, and so, like when you find ways to make, now if luckily that's not how I developed my act, and so that character I only used in emergencies, but imagine, like, if you build your whole fucking thing on being this guy that's fucked up, how do you...
You gotta be fucked up.
Yeah.
Wow. That is oof.
Fucking Bobcat.
Brutal.
Bobcat
Goldthwait. Yeah.
Whatever he was doing.
Yeah, that whole act that he was doing. having a fucking that guy.
But then the reverse is, why is it when you get into religion, for some reason God tells you can't be funny no more? Like, you either... a maniac on drugs, or you get religious, and then all of a sudden you just said fuck, like Bob Nelson with the napkins.
You can't be.
He just stopped. He said fuck funny, but I'm gonna still do comedy.
Yeah, for some reason you can't find God as a way out of an addiction, I guess, and be funny.
Can't be hilarious and be into Jesus.
What happened?
Jesus had to be charismatic. walking through Jerusalem with those assholes. Like, give me a break, man. Well, like, I guess it's a rough thing being, but
some
people
take on the religious, they take on the fucking hulkier religious sides too, that pious, oh, I can't laugh at this, I can't talk about that. They take on that part of it too.
Because if you take on that whole thing where, I gotta be a compassionate guy, I can't do certain types of humor that would offend things. If you go that far, you're fucking doomed.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Let's go to the phones. We got Josh in Bucks County. Josh.
Hey, Josh.
We got Greg Giraldo in studio opening up to us. He's playing Gotham. I want to see Greg Giraldo at Gotham Comedy Club Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 1 million shows to choose from. What do you got, Josh?
What's up, boys?
Hey, man.
Thanks for taking my call. I got sober when I was young, like Jimmy. I was 19. I just kind of pushed into it as a kid from my mom and girlfriends and that kind of stuff. And then at 31, I decided I had a kid. She was born missing half her brain, and it kind of took its toll on me. And to be honest with you, I thought it was my reason for drinking at the time. And
well, Mr. Nagel, are you sober now?
Nah. I've been drinking and doing drugs every day for 2.5 years.
Okay.
I got the pills started like 1.5 years ago, and they're the fucking worst to try to get off of. My kid was born, and
is this a helpful? There got to be a once upon a time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Are you helping?
There's no way to get sober. That's all I want to tell you.
You're done.
They tell you it works, it doesn't.
Where'd the guy go?
He hung up on his own.
Oh, why'd you hang up, dude?
He's out.
Why'd you hang up, dude? He's asking. Did you just ask someone why they hung up?
But you know what it is? It just...
Holy shit, Jimmy.
Well, it seems to me it's like pile on Jim Day, isn't it?
You know what? He'll hear that, though.
It's like shit.
Some delay. He's going to call back now.
That's true.
What
was you helping?
I don't know what he was.
What his point was.
Liquor made his sperm wrong.
I think he was leading toward what can I do to help myself. I think he was leading
and that's what it always is. It's like, it's just, it comes.
No, people know the answers.
If it's good for me.
People know what they have to do. People know, there's enough information out there. But they say knowledge is no defense. It doesn't matter what I know. It's like, we know what to do. I either want to do it or I don't. I mean, it's like, it really is simple. It's like, but no one is like in the dark about
of how much, what you're really willing to do. And then like they'll tell you, like the real hardcore guys will say, like, you're not willing, if you're willing to do anything, you're broken, are you really broken down, you're crawling in here, you're ready to do anything we tell you to do. And, like, obviously there's ways, look, people could stop. If they put you on a fucking desert island, you're never going to drink again, right? But then you're going to, so there's things, but it's not so much. It's not like you don't just sit there and think, all right, today I'm going to go out and get fucked up. It's very subtle. It does creep up in weird ways.
Your intelligence level as a comic is so at the same level as psychiatrists and psychologists. So you can be in this state and go, shut the fuck up with your advice,
well, that's
bitch.
what they always tell you.
You know what I mean?
If you're the kind of person that deconstructs things too much, thinks things through too much, it's going to be a lot harder.
It makes it much harder.
Because you keep rationalizing through all the things and the things that people do to help you. And there's a lot of stuff, and it does work. There's a lot of things that help people. And I've stayed sober for long stretches, and I got to pray to God that I'm going to stay sober now. I mean, this can't go on, right? So you got to believe that something will work. But it's like, it takes longer for people that are always analyzing and breaking things down and saying, well, that doesn't work. Or if you can pray to God for sobriety, why can't I pray to God? Why can't we form a group to pray to God to give us moderate drinking? Like all that kind of shit.
But they
moderate. But the moderate drinking God, which is
moderate drinking God.
How about we pray to God and let me get fucked up every once in a while and be okay, and not keep going.
But they take away all those, like, any loopholes you think are left. It's like they say we think our intellectual brain power will help us float above other people. They just point out the arrogance of thinking like that.
Yeah, right.
It's like, hey, the proof is this.
Right.
Me and all my brains got me fucking cutting my wrist.
Yeah, right.
And fucking vomiting and calling the FBI. And Dumbo over there has been sober for a long time and is happy and can keep an erection. So who wins?
Yeah, right.
With that, we got Josh calling back to get to his point. Josh.
Yeah, sorry about that. My point was, I used that after 2.5 years, I'm pretty much sure I used that as an excuse just to get my favorite thing back. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to do drugs for a long time. I quit when I was 19. I wasn't convinced that I was an addict, and I thought I was smarter than the program, and I stopped going to meetings for a couple years, and then that shit happened with my kids, and now I'm in a fucking nightmare, to be honest with you.
Well, why don't you, I'm sorry not to suggest something, but why don't you do what worked the first time?
I would like to, I talked to my friends. I have some guys trying to talk me into going into a detox. I honestly, it hasn't been bad enough, to be honest with you. The only thing, I feel like a faggot because my only problem is that I cry too fucking much. I'm depressed about my kid. I hate my job. I just feel like a baby.
But look at the
dude, all the time. It's like fucking nothing's bad enough for me to get sober again.
Look at the self-centered. So what's good enough to keep using then? Doesn't sound like it's working for you.
No, it's really not. In the beginning, I was funny. I was way funnier. I loved it. It was great. I realized how easy it was to fuck drunk girls. You know what I mean? I'm married. Obviously, I didn't, but it was great going out and feeling like I could get laid all the time. And now I'm in the corner, high and miserable, and not wanting to see anybody.
But look at the self-centeredness of it. You got a sick kid, and you can't find a reason to get sober. I'm not saying that I understand that like rational stuff doesn't sober people up, but just kind of step out of yourself and look at the self-centeredness of that.
But you know what it is? It's not the reason. You don't necessarily always even know. Like you find reasons to explain everything away. For me, right? My kids matters more than anything in the world to me, right? And I love them to death. But then you start thinking, okay, at first you think, your brain tricks you into giving you any reason to get fucked up. So like for me, it means I don't want to label myself. I don't want to say I'm an alcoholic or a drug addict. I don't want to say I have that genetic. I just want to say I'm choosing to get fucked up a little bit on the road. Because if I'm an alcoholic or something, that means now my kids are going to have that. And then they're going to have to,
all right, yeah.
So that's how I tricked myself into
and then all of a sudden you start, and then once you get deep into it, then you go, well, fuck it, they'll be better off without you anyway, and all this kind of shit that's a lie, that's all lies, and then you hate yourself so much that now you can't stop because now you're like, I'm the biggest piece of shit on the planet, fuck it, let's keep going, and it's and then whatever, it takes what it takes, everybody gets to where they get, and there's no one thing that makes people get, tell you the truth, for me it's like when it's just nothing's working, when it becomes a point where it becomes very clear that it's either you just want to go till you're dead or that there's hope, right? And if you believe there's some reason there's hope, then you stop and you do what you got to do, which I've done, and hopefully this will. This is a fucking cheery.
It's true. A lot of people
fucking compelling. I'll tell you that.
And there's
Jesus Christ.
There's definitely a lot of jokes. in the middle of this too.
A lot of people are going through the same thing.
What was your upbringing like, Greg? Was it fucked up?
No, that's the thing. It wasn't really. I mean, through therapy and all this shit, you start finding out that there's a lot of things that seemed fucked up. It's not even a question of what's fucked up. It's like how it affects you, how you perceive it, right? So like nothing was. My parents were cool. But they was all very immigrant. I was first generation. I was smart. I was supposed to fucking save the world. I was supposed to, and all these, and I always felt weird. I always felt different. And I still do now to this day. When I'm standing here, even you guys, even the crew and these guys, I'm always on the periphery of everything. I'm always the outside guy. I always feel like, and it doesn't matter. And then people tell me, but yeah, people like you. You're a normal guy. But I never felt that way. As soon as I got fucked up, I was like, well, hey, everybody, now I'm one of you. Now I'm normal. And that's just something that's fucked up in people's brains. And that, so now like booze and drugs and everything, that's the medicine. That's the medicine to fix what's wrong. It's not like just have fun. I'm actually fixing my problem. I'm treating my illness.
Oh, okay.
And then you try to stop, you try to not drink or anything. And all of a sudden that illness is still there with no medicine. It gets fucking worse and worse and worse until you address what's wrong with you. Then you're going to keep picking up and, and going back down that path. So, and then sometimes it's just, you don't know what the fuck happened. I
just like the feeling of, drinking.
Yeah.
I like to drink. I like to have it's very ritualistic
drink
thing
every day?
With people hanging out. Yeah, I have
and
beers.
You get a buzz probably?
Yeah,
So why isn't your life, why don't you have a problem as opposed to whatever?
Well, I don't know. I reach a yeah.
I mean, why don't you considering yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't everybody going, oh man, Anthony's, like, why can't you drink every day?
Jimmy does all the time.
Really?
He looks at me like that and goes,
I love Anthony. Of course I'm concerned.
No, of course, I know.
When you see your friend who your career hinges upon him driving a fucking 3,000-pound vehicle with a hand over one eye.
No, I don't fucking. Oh my God,
a fucking gun collection.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, guns. Whatever. No, it's one of those things where it's like I was saying about afternoon drive radio as opposed to doing morning radio. Now, I would never fucking come in at 6 in the morning and start drinking beers during this show.
He would be from the night before.
Yes, I like just staying drunk completely right through till forge on through. No, I would never do that. But when I get home, I fucking like kicking back, grabbing a cold beer, turning on the TV, and just drinking beers. Or when friends come over, it's like a thing that, to have a beer in your hand, you're talking and drinking.
How many beers on a regular day?
On a regular day?
Not a party night or any of that kind
Not a party night?
It's Wednesday.
Average day. A Wednesday?
Something like today.
I'll probably, let me see. I have fucking kegs and taps in my house now.
That's the problem.
Which is, so it's hard to count.
He kind of ramped up. He's got a Guinness keg and a Bud Light keg. So.
The garbage man is going on welfare now. He doesn't have the depositable bottles anymore.
Oh, shit. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
No, probably, let me think. I could probably go through from the time I get home until the time I go to bed, probably a 6-pack. Go through like a 6.
It's not even quantity. Everybody's story is different. There are people that get fucked up every day that don't. Everybody decides for themselves what it's doing to them or what they. But it's like if you wanted to, there was starting to be a lot of adverse consequences in your life, but you kept drinking anyway. Or you wanted to stop. Or if you keep telling yourself, I'm just gonna have 2 beers tonight, but you find you keep drinking 8 or 10, or today I'm not gonna drink, but you're fucked up anyway. There's little things like that start becoming.
I sometimes I can like weekends are a different story because I know I don't have to get up for work. Right. If I have to get up, I kind of take it easy. If it's a weekend and I'm drinking and I'm out or something like that, I'll be like, I'll reach a point where I stop thinking you are going to feel like fucking dog shit tomorrow. And I wake up and go, what the fuck? What did I do? Mm-hmm. Why? Because now I waste the whole day laying in bed just going like, oh, I feel like shit, I'm hungover. And we fucking waste the day. But there are other days where I'll be like drinking and go, hey, give me a water or give me club soda or something because I don't want to feel like shit tomorrow. I got shit to do. I got, with that. And I'll just, I'll stop. I'll drink fucking club soda the rest of the night. Yeah, some days you're just like, fuck, man, why didn't I, why did I cross that barrier where I stopped thinking maybe I should stop now.
Yeah, but that's the big. We've all done that. That's the big. That's the big why.
You know what Colin said?
You know what I mean? We all go, why
Colin
did I
said to
have
me,
go ahead,
sorry, Colin said to me early on, and it was weird. This was real early. This was way before I even would have considered it. He said, listen, I don't know if you're an alcoholic, stupid, but but he started giving me gave me this whole lecture, and he goes, just drink 5 drinks. Don't drink more than 5 drinks for like a couple weeks. You drink 5 drinks, and any normal person would think that's pretty fucking reasonable, or just give us a week, don't drink for 5. And all of a sudden you're like, well, fuck, I drink more, but I'm choosing to drink more. It's not like, because you can't choose not to for a week, whatever, and even if some people can hold off, but the point is, it's not a question of just dry drunking yourself, because there are people that could say, fuck, I stopped for 2 months. I'm not an alcoholic. It's drink 5 drinks or under, or don't ever drink more than 3 beers for 2 weeks, because once you have 3, if you could put 3 beers in you and leave it at that, for weeks and weeks and weeks, then you're probably okay.
I'll have 12 and not drink for 2 days. How about that?
It doesn't work like that.
Literal
Jim. Just self-righteous in the whole conversation.
Self-righteous Jim.
What the fuck is that shit?
People are dying out there.
It's no laughing matter.
Yeah, you keep smiling. Turn it upside down and see what happens, bub.
Bub.
Bob.
You know who needs a good drink? Fucking face lady.
Oh, God. She should get a pass. Let her fucking drink. She'll hold it in her mouth like a pelican.
Have you seen Face
Pelican lady?
Yeah, she looks good.
Amazing, right? Hey,
Oh, she looks good.
Greg, where's your comedy at these days? Whoa, is that
Kevin Kennedy?
that is, right?
Who's that?
A baseball dude. No, we interviewed him in
yeah,
Vegas.
yeah. We talked to him in
Kevin
Vegas.
Kennedy? No, what's his name?
No.
Motherfucker.
So exciting here.
Didn't he used to manage the Red Sox?
Hallways are just, it's magic.
You're teaming with
Celebrities.
Who is that guy?
That's gonna drive me nuts now. He was cool. We interviewed him in Vegas. Anyway, where's your comedy at these days? Greg?
That's this is the fucked up thing.
By the way, I've always loved your comedy.
Oh,
I want
thank you.
I want the people to know that.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm actually doing an hour special in June, and that's actually has a lot to do with, it's a paradox, because on the one hand, you feel this, like you're getting better, and then you think you don't deserve it, so then you get fucked up to ruin it, but the weird thing is that's the one thing I can't let, like the most motivating thing is getting funnier and being better, and that seems like a weird thing to say for a person who's, but that's really like, you're talking about that's the one thing I'm not willing to lose, and I start losing it, and then it's the one thing that hits me, that like I can't lie about what's happening there. Or the other shit, for some reason I could lie about it, but for that, when you really start seeing, your comedy slipping, that's when you
are you talking about this stuff on stage and
somewhat. I'm gonna make there's a lot of really funny shit about it that I'm doing.
We were laughing.
There's definitely a lot of funny shit in there, but I haven't really processed it yet because I was living it. So
right.
Yes. Got to kind of get away from it a little first.
Yeah,
you'll have a lot of people,
look back at it.
You'll have a lot of people in the audience that can relate to a lot of that.
Well, that's
stuff.
the fucked up thing. Like when they know the fucking, even if you don't talk about it, if you're fucked up or if you're thinking about being fucked up, those kind of people come out of the woodwork. Fucking crackhead addicts, stripper addicts, all these people, they come out of the woodwork. Everyone's got drugs, everyone's giving you shit, everyone wants to go party, and I don't even have to mention it on stage. If you're trying to keep your shit together, even if you don't talk about it, people that want to help you come out of the woodwork. People can walk up. I've had people come and ask me for help because I've been sober for a little while, and I don't even mention it on stage. It's fucking weird. So it's all out there.
Right on.
There's hope, everybody.
You know who could help? Danny.
Danny?
Danny's great. Yeah. Fucking enabler.
Yeah, I help you drink beer.
Exactly. He helps me drain the kegs.
Danny, it says 6 beers on a regular day. Is that accurate?
Average.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, weekday.
Yeah. Weekday.
Weekday.
Right. Weekday.
Weekend's a little different.
Oh,
but
weekends.
Weekends start on a Thursday yet? Are you a Thursday weekender?
I've gotten up, not out of bed, but I've woken up on like Saturday morning or Sunday morning and just heard like either Ange downstairs or somebody downstairs.
You got to actually rephrase that. You've woken up on a Saturday or Sunday evening.
Evening, yes, evening. And just heard what sounds like a glass recycling plant. Where it's just clank, 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 bottles just fucking going down. And, that's not just me because that's Danny's alarm clock, too. He's on the couch asleep. didn't make it up into the Danny
there are some
sleep.
days I don't actually make it into a bed.
Doesn't
if I'm
make it
staying over.
upstairs into fucking his private suite.
Someone will find me in the bathroom one day. Guaranteed.
Yeah, that's well, man.
All right. Well, I think we've done enough today, man.
We've had our therapy session.
Let's
pretend this motherfucker was sober. I'm trying to think of a question I can ask him if he wasn't fucking on drugs. Like, so Greg, let's ask him a not fucking dying of drugs.
I tried to go there twice. I said, face transplant lady, and what kind of comedy you doing?
And then Greg's like,
and then went back to the other thing.
Greg, face transplant. He's so clear it doesn't matter anymore.
I also knew.
All I know about is spiritual transplants.
I guess it'd be nice to have a face that you didn't fucking, I actually did think that when her nose was missing, I thought, well, I guess obviously that limits certain methods of administration. She had no nose. How do you do?
Did you see the no nose when you were sober or on drugs? Because that could be a whole different
it's a whole different experience. Wow, it must suck not to smell things. Oh, yeah, not smelling. That's got to be it.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here, man. I think Greg Giraldo got the laughs out as well. And he's going to be at the Gotham Comedy Club. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's 2, 4, like 6 shows. 212-367-9000 for Gotham. And it's been way too long. We like having you on the show.
Yeah, man. No, I don't know. It's like everything. Fucking time goes by. I keep thinking, what shit? Why haven't I been on before?
We got to work you into the schedule.
Yeah.
And check out Colin's show too if you can. He's only doing it for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's called My 2 Cents. It's on 43rd Street. Just go to colinquid.com. I'm going to go tonight.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go too.
His one-man show on the economy.
Colin. I'm going to do the free ticket. Fuck Colin. You bought a ticket? Fuck him.
Man, yeah, no.
And I'm going to have an empty seat next to me too. I'm going to have him give me 2 free tickets. I'm going to only use 1. That's
Who's
what
that baseball guy walking around?
You should do something like I do on the plane and buy a whole
Kevin
row
Kennedy, right?
instead of going first. Can't afford first, but I can afford 3 coaches.
3 coach seats.
Why didn't Kevin Kennedy sound right when you said it though?
What was Kevin Kennedy?
Just
Red
makes
Sox,
your
right?
stomach hurt, doesn't it?
Goddamn ant. Shut up.
This guy.
Didn't he used to manage the Red Sox?
And Tyra she just perpetuates corniness. I got booted off that stupid show. Tyra's just like
we're talking about Ant the comic who's on
flourishing.
Tyra. He stinks.
I like him. I think he's good.
I think he's wonderful.
Shut it, Jim.
I like comic that brings that kind of energy.
I like a marvelous sense of humor.
He brings it.
Punch his chin up so it looks like that lady.
He brings the funny.
He's so irreverent and he's so catty. I love that catty. Catty humor.
Great.
There's millions of guys that are funnier that will never be on TV like that. I just don't get it. I don't understand how you guys deal with that shit.
The business is a leech that sucks your life force out of you.
I'm trying to think if I ever laughed at one fucking thing that guy has said. He's on everything too.
If he said he liked pussy, I'd fucking crack up.
Oh, Anthony.
All right, listen.
No need to go there.
Patrice O'Neal.
I don't want to go.
Your face transplant thing.
Let's stay.
Your face transplant thing will live on for a long time.
Hey, don't validate me by face transplants. Let's stay
I'm
and
just
talk.
saying. Maybe we will.
Let's just chat.
Maybe we
Let's
do
just
that.
go. Let's just hang out.
Miami Improv. You could go to.
If we hang out, we'll be helping Greg.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know
Another
what?
half hour of not fucking around.
You know what? You know what?
Let's stay.
You could stay.
I want to stay. I want you to stay with me and Anthony. And this cocksucker's packing up his mouth.
He's packing his stuff up.
It's late.
But why don't you stay?
I got to drink.
Yeah.
I don't want to
I
stay.
gotta eat. I gotta keep my protein level stable.
Do a set with Greg.
No.
No, we gotta go eat.
You need us to do a set.
No.
We're barely here when you are on.
Greg doesn't want. Greg is. You know. I just.
We got to get out of the drug talk.
I want to be his. I want to be his real friend on this. I don't want to be his radio friend.
Oh.
No fake friend.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to be his fake friend.
Well, then
Why
are you putting your hat on and
discuss
leaving?
it on the air?
Yeah. No.
What's that? No, because that's not real friendship. Interventions are on the phone by yourself. I don't want to fucking.
Yeah, but I don't need an intervention.
Yeah,
I've
we
already
were
told
going
him.
down that road.
He's been intervened.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I see. I don't know. I'm using those words. I'm using those words. Fucking. You know, I don't have a what do they call it? I shouldn't be using the word. Yeah, that's why I swear a lot.
A friend?
I saw a fucking bumper sticker that says swearing helps fools think. I went, yep, that is me.
I like that.
As I'm going,
Time.
fuck. I'll talk to Greg on the phone one of these days.
Yeah.
You could do a set with him where you don't talk drugs. You just
we could do
hang.
anything.
I don't want to because I'm engulfed by his drug use. I didn't know it happened.
Something happened.
It is, guys.
So, hold on. Something happened to Patrice in the middle of this because you got really quiet.
No, it's
No, because I did not know that Greg was going through
so
this.
you were learning some stuff right here.
Yeah.
I love these wild
I didn't know that.
shows.
Okay.
I'm sorry.